So when you were talking about the civilian going through the process of selection, and then you amalgamated with military guys, was there a chemistry misbalance?
Yeah, especially in the beginning, because when they join us, they are from a regiment with some of them 10 years experience, some 5, some 3, whatever. But they arrive with normally a rank. Some of them are sergeant, lieutenants, corporal, and so on. But when they join the selections, you don't have any rank. So they ask them to take off the ranks.
Oh shit!
And they get them back when they are in the unit after the selections. So they lose their rank for the selections, so they cannot go over. Some of them came to us and said, "Hey, I'm a sergeant." I said, "No, you're not a sergeant anymore. We're all on the same team right now. Don't play that game." So they try to, get some power over you because they say, "Oh, you civilians, you don't know shit," and so on. That's not true. And with time, they start to see that, well, these civilians, they may not have 10 years experience, but this guy are doing the job. They know how to shoot. They arrive here. There is a reason for that. And they didn't have to learn something to relearn something. So they start to respect us pretty quickly, even to ask for help at some point. So I would say the first week has, tendency to be a bit hot and be like, okay, well, okay, let's just be careful what we say, what we do. But for them, but for us as well, we should not be too cocky, because otherwise, we can be beat up anyways. And the goal is to work together. By the time people understand this is a teamwork and not an individual work, you start to understand, you still work for your own selections as an individual, but you have to work with the team, because on mission, you work with the team. And this is a mindset that is required.
So I'm just curious, did the civilians do as well as the military people at the end?
Yes.
The last 20 and 20?
Yeah, so we were 40 and we ended up not too bad for selections. Some selections harder, some are easier, but some of them, even though they're hard, the guys are good. So it is what it is. But it's not really well seen when you finish. We start at 40 and we start at 40. We finished, I think, at 33. And we went through the commando training at 33 and we ended up at 27. So we didn't lose a lot.
Wow, okay.
Usually on 30, you can lose 20.
Okay.
But we were 27 strong men that finished that one. And after you go for the last section that I forgot to mention, but the last section of the selection is a 6-month training where it's just French SAS stuff. The shooting level is higher, jumping from planes again, helicopter, vehicles, specific missions. You're more and more autonomous, more and more like by yourself. They put a lot of trust into you. You never know if you're going to make it or not. There is many things. Like I won't go in details, but there is a lot. You learn all the time. And at the end of the selection, so if I remind it, we were 80. Then we lost, how much did I say? We were 80. So we looked 60. And then we had 40. Then we lost 7. And then we lost 5. And at the end of the selections, there were 8.
So by that point, is it getting heartbreaking when you're losing, when you're starting to lose the guys?
It is.
Because you went through hell together?
Yeah. Because that's why I liked through the commando experience, which is a course I offer that is replica, like a glimpse of what it is in the selections. Mm-hmm. Right in the beginning, I say, go as a team. Because seeing the guys going, sometimes you're like, I never I would expect that guy to quit or to be injured or to be kicked out. And when you see, some of them just quit because that's fair to say, I stop here. I reach my limits. I don't follow up anymore, or I have an injury. And when you see the guys going, you say like, if this guy cannot make it, how can I make it?
Right.
And it starts to work in your mind. You're like, oh, that's tough. That's a tough loss. And these guys, you all the time with them. Even on weekends when you have breaks, you go out with the guys. You're always with these guys. So you create a brotherhood that you cannot really find somewhere else that much in our society today, whatever is the job you do.
Right.
Because you're so much tested. It's raw.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, you cannot hide behind anything. Maybe the camouflage, but that's it. You cannot hide. So yeah, it's tough to see the guys living. Your moral is affected.
Yeah. So what surprised you most about the process?
What surprised me the most is like it's not the most fit or the bigger guys that looks like it that make it.
Yeah.
It's incredible what the human being is capable of. Whatever is your shape. I mean, don't get me wrong. There is some guys that were very strong and good shape and so on, and they made it through. But I saw some guys you look at them, you're like strong, tall, and so on. This guy or the exact shape of a special force in the movies. That's the thing that most people don't understand. We don't want a big Rambo because a Rambo is heavy. If he's down, you have to carry him plus the gear, so it's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
We call it chat maigre in French, which means skinny cats.
Okay.
Which means you need to be a man that is capable to carry a lot, to move fast, to move anywhere, to climb, to crawl. So when you're very tall, you can still make it, but it's a disadvantage somehow. There is not a lot of tall people that make it. But if you're tall and big at the same time, you can become a liability more than an asset, especially if you get shot or injured. And there is a lot of risk with knees and back when you're bigger, and the leverage and so on. There is a lot of things that can be an issue for you depending on your shape. So what surprised me the most was like the guy that is even. I think I'm even like a bit bigger than the skinny cat if I follow the rule. But guys that were smaller than me, you know what? They shut the fuck up. They carry the bag and they go up with the radio, with the bag, and they make it. And they're not the strongest in the world, but they're so resilient, a lot of endurance and strength hidden into the body. That's the perfect type of guys we want. So the guy we see, special forces, like 225 pounds, fine, there is some exceptions. But most of the guys that did the special force are now retired. So yes, they gain weight, they go to the gym more, but it was not an asset when they were operational. And that's something that is very not well understood or even surprising through the selections.
That kind of answers my next question.
Yeah.
What you think is the most misunderstood?
The misunderstood, So I would say I would go back on it.
Yeah.
What is the most misunderstood as a civilian? Most people don't know much. Well, before they select you, they ask you a question if you know the hierarchy, how is the institution is built, who's special force, who's not, who's reconnaissance, who's action. So they ask you the name of different regiments in France, the specialties, and so on. And most civilians don't know that. For an example, the French SAS, the top of the spear, the tip of the spear is Première PMA and 13e RDP. Which is like action and reconnaissance, right? So this is the two main one for the army. Then Navy have Commando Marine, and then you have the CPA-10, CPA-10, which is for Air Force. So different special forces, but some people think that. But for an example, the French Foreign Legion is not special force at all.
Okay.
Not at all. They are conventional. Don't get me wrong. They have this. They place into the military, but they don't do special force stuff. They're not special force. They're not under the Special Operation Command, and that's very important to know. So there is little things that I think are worth it to do some research beforehand. Yeah.
Okay. So Jeff, during the physical aspect, what do you think was the biggest challenge for the candidates?
Physically?
Yeah.
I think physically the hardest is, yes, it's hard. The tests are hard, like themselves. but we kind of expect it a bit somehow, some of them. The hardest is to maintain your body overall. Okay. Avoiding being hurt and injured. That's the biggest fear of the guys, because you go through months of training and one injury makes you stop, and sometimes you have to redo not the full process, but a full training. So I would say that physically that's the most difficult, is to manage your body and energy, because you never know what's going to happen next. And you learn so much. Like, for an example, I pushed my body very much through martial arts, through American football. I was a high-level athlete, so I know my body pretty well. And I remember Kadri saying, if you think you know, guys, what your body and mental is capable, you're out of your mind. And I was like, I actually judged that guy internally. I was like, he doesn't know what he talk about. Like, he doesn't know my experience in my story. And today I respect him a lot, because he was right. I didn't know that I could push my body so far to such limits, like something even like you cannot think about it or even imagine it, and you do it. The body is capable to endure a lot. Yeah. So I would say it's that.
Sleep?
Yeah. Well, the lack of sleep obviously at some point affect you, but you learn a lot. You become really resilient about, we all different. So I know that I need more sleep than others. So you start to create a kind of routine depending on the routine that is actually going on. So you know that if you go for 2 weeks on the field, you know that you're going to need to, create a kind of routine for yourself, when you're going to sleep, when you're not, when you take care of yourself, when you eat. After that, there is, of course, a group synergy that is in place and helps you to go through it. But you still have to learn yourself this way. Yeah.
So what do you think helps a candidate more, endurance versus strength?
Endurance.
Endurance.
100%.
And why? Why would you say it? Like, don't you need strength for climbing that rope?
Technique.
Technique. Nice.
Mostly techniques. Obstacle course, techniques. Yes, you still need strength, but you don't need to be the stronger in the world.
Yeah.
Like, you take the stronger in the world right now, like, I don't know who it is, the mountain, or I don't know who it is. They won't last 2-3 days.
No.
They won't. So strength is important, because you still have to carry, you still get ready, you still like prepare your body for that. And this is a requirement every year for every single operators that even though finish the selections, you test it every year. If you don't pass this test, you're not deployable.
Okay.
The standard is high for a reason. So we keep high people. It's no, cool beans. No. No, you test it all the time. Whatever is your age, your rank, the years you're in the regiments, we all the same. So endurance, mental and physical endurance.
Oh, and physical endurance.
Yeah.
I mean, mental endurance too.
Yeah, mental, because you never know when it's done. You don't know where it's going to end up. At some point, you stop counting kilometers. You stop.
Okay. So I do have a question about what physical tests did they do that the public is kind of unknown about? That's more like, they always talk about the running, the rope climbing, the backpack, climbing over things, climbing under things.
Yeah.
But what physical activity is least known to the public?
So I would say two. One that is kind of known, it was obviously obstacle course. It's a test.
Yeah.
The issue is you don't have any place to work, to train or work out on obstacle course in the civilian world. So that's an issue. You can still do some kind of, I would say, a stage, like it's a pre-glimpse of what happened. You have still to be selected for that, but you can try it as a civilian. So they show you how it is, so you can have at least some insight how it is and how to prepare for that. But it's not everyone that has access to it. I didn't. I knew there would be some obstacle course, but I didn't know that it would be like so many obstacle course. From pure performance, but also performance linked with security, where you're in when you're in heights, and you need to put your carabiner first, like on the save your life, before engaging on the obstacle course. So you have to think but give as well. So it's testing you, and you tested on that. They give you marks. Yeah, they give you, oh, okay, you noted. So you tested on that. You don't know that. You don't expect it at such moments sometimes. So I would say the obstacle course is something that surprised a lot of people. I've seen a guy that was in really good shape. He could do a lot of pull-ups, a lot of push-ups, really good shape. At the obstacle course, he failed during a test, so it wasn't an official one. And he almost laughed about it. It was a bit, I don't know if he was nervous or not. And some guys came to us to say, "You think it's funny?" He said, "Do you think it's funny? Like you did that time? Like you think we're going to recruit you for that? You're not capable to do under that time?" It's almost like, "You a piece of shit, get out of here." It's almost what he said, right? And he understood, like, okay, I got to take it seriously. Like, yes, I'm good, but I got to do better. So it's kind of test that's rent-free in your mind sometimes, depending on how you do. The other tests, it's not a direct test that says you need to do that much reps for in certain time whatsoever. It's that's funny. I remember that one. It's they did it during the National Day, which is the 14th of July in France. Okay. And we were so excited. Like we thought it would be, it's a weekend, and we thought we would go outside and do parties. Sometimes they do let you go, but not that night. That night, I said, "You think you're gonna go outside doing like watching fireworks? No, guys, just stay here. See you tomorrow." And we went to the bed, and at I think it was 1 a.m. in the morning, if I remember well, because I didn't sleep that night. I remember I was like, something gonna happen. It's too strange. That night, and so how I do is you prepare like your boots and you put your pants in the boots. Everything is ready, so you're almost like half ready. And I knew they would come. And at 1 a.m. in the morning, "Everybody stand up, let's go. You have 2 minutes to be outside." So you put your stuff, you get your stuff. They obviously give you information like, yeah, just be yourself with your uniform. That's it. You don't need your gear or firearm. So that night it was just that. Okay, good night, guys. So tonight we're gonna start to proceed to the first how you say, like not a selection, the first test to see who gonna quit or not tonight. So we're gonna push you till 5 a.m. in the morning. We ran, pushed up, jumping jack. There is a big hill called California over there. You have to go up and down. It's a terrible one. It's steep like this. It's never ending. And you go grab some logs, do squats with it. You have to carry them. You have to crawl. They push you so much. But what I loved about it is like most of the time, the cadres do it with you.
Okay.
They still have to manage their energy, so they don't do it all the time. But they lead by example, and that's very important. That's a good mindset to have. That's the SAS mindset. And that's what I try to bring to the clients when they come to our course, to teach them. And so we went till, so here's the thing. The rule was, we go over there, but when you come back, you're going to know it's going to be the end only if you pass the big porch. There is a huge porch. It's a citadel. It's a beautiful building, like from Vauban and so on. And you know that when you pass that porch, it's the barracks, right? So we knew, and many times we go towards that porch, and then we come back. So they play with your mind all the time. And then they come next to you and say, "Oh, you want to quit, buddy? I think about your girlfriend. Hey, who's that person on Facebook? We find her. It's your mom. It's your dad. It's a brother. It's a relative." And they try to play with your mind. Because you're in the hard right now, and they try to make you think about the comfort and the good people, the love, and so on. And they test people this way, but they push you really much, and it's never ending. And many times we go over there, we go back, and so on. And at some point, we go through it. And we reassemble, we form up in front of the building, and we're like, "Yeah, it's done." Usually you look at each other. You see guys, you don't see them anymore. They just disappear during the night.
Yeah.
Guy quit it. It is what it is. And the main cadre came over and say, "Okay, so I heard this and that, so I think we're gonna go back again. Jeez. But I remember something, I didn't believe it because I saw the cadres, the other cadres, being like, come on, no, we won't go again. Like, we gave it all. And so basically we went again till the porch and say, I just wanted to see who will quit after I say that. No one quit it after that. So we went to the porch and came back to form up. It was another test. It did that twice. The second time it did it, you remember I said like we had to climb all the different hikes for 3 days. We form up, and you know it's time to go back to the regiment. And there is a truck waiting for you. You don't smell it, but you smell food and you're bad. You smell it in the dip in the truck, you feel it. And then it's like you go in the truck, they drive, I don't know, from what I remember, 500 meters. The truck stopped. Everybody out. You're like, come on, no, we don't want to go again. Form up. I say, okay, you see the mountain over there? Now I want you to follow cadre X at his pace. So you have the backpack. He doesn't, obviously. And you go climb up the Artamendi, which is the name of the mountain over there. And then you like, and say, you can still quit now if you want, but there we go. And you don't know if it's true or not. You actually don't know if he's freaking with your mind or not. We run at maybe 500 meters or something, and then we stopped, and the guy said, I just wanted to test you.
So for someone who wants to be a potential candidate, what kind of advice could you give them to be prepared?
I would tell them prepare don't rush the preparation. Take the time to prepare. Test yourself by pushing your body through the cold, through the hot, in water, in the air if you can, skydiving if you can. Okay. It's a good way. Get ready for the right things. Don't overtrain. That's not useful. It's going to be against you. Train the right amount. I would say do a lot of HIIT training, so high intensity trainings, interval trainings. Run, ruck march. Okay. Get used to weight on your shoulders. Mm-hmm. That when you're not used to it and you develop it through it, it goes in your mind and you think about that weight all the time. Try to get ready a bit everywhere you can. Learn some tactics, learn some shooting. Come to the commando experience. It's going to be the best training commando experience. I really advise it. So we do it in Penticton, BC. But if you cannot, just try to go. We have so much access to different things like obstacle course gym, a shooting range, skydiving, going in the lake to do some cold dips, sauna. Try to push limits a bit everywhere to know yourself better. So once you go through it, you're going to be way more comfortable. And they're going to see you as this guy, he's handling it pretty well. So you're going to mark the minds. That's what I would say. I mean, if they want to program, you also offer program for recruits, not just for military or special selections, but also for police, law enforcement, first responders, correctional, anyone. That's what I would say they should do.
Back to the physical part, do you ever find cold hands an issue? Like
cold hands?
When you're training for or going through selections, did you guys ever freeze? Like in Canada, we freeze.
Oh, no. Well, it depends. I would say yes from my experience, like you freeze. Yeah. I remember spending some nights, but it's very humid over there, so the cold it's different than Central Alberta, for an example.
Yes.
It's easier to handle minus 30 in Central Alberta than even in Quebec, for an example.
Than the wet.
Yes.
Humid. Yeah.
So in France, it's not that cold, especially in the area where we train, but sometimes you spend nights by 0 or minus 5.
Okay.
It happens. And especially like us, we had the commando training. It happened during the winter. So we stopped because you spend all your nights outside. So you actually love it when you march by night because you stay warm.
Okay.
I remember that. it's perfect temperatures to march and do missions by night. But once you want to sleep, it can be something. But no, you don't freeze. You don't have winter warfare like you can train, for an example, in Canada or in Finland or Sweden. But that's why sometimes they go and do some inter-agencies or army training. So French go to Finland or Canada, train together, and you learn from other
exercises in different countries.
So you do that. You also have a jungle. I didn't go through the jungle. This one, I think, for me, is one of the toughest ones. Jungle is terrible. It's wet all the time. It's hot all the time. Everything want to kill you. Navigation is almost impossible. It's very tough. So you can train in different environments, but let's be honest, the Basque Country is great because it's wet, it's cold, it's hot. It's very mental because it rains a lot. We have the mountains, we have the ocean. So we did some boats. We did some boat and aquatic exercises as well as we did stuff in the mountains. So I love the environment over there, and I think that's why it's over there, because of the access of the different type of environments to be tested.
So how could someone prepare psychologically?
Psychologically, I would say it's tough because there is not much resources to train this way. We do it during the commando experience. Again, I know I mentioned it because this is a glimpse of what you're going to expect through in 40 hours to experience the maximum of very intense thing you're going to potentially see through the selections. It's good for civilians to go back into their job and perform better. It's not just for guy that want to do the special force. It's for everyone. But if you want to prepare for that, come to us because you cannot really prepare. You're going to be tested, and some guys break down at this moment. Some guys talk.
Okay.
They talk.
Oh, what do you find that breaks people the most?
To live in the unknown.
Okay.
Living in the unknown.
Yeah.
That's why you have to be a good person you have to be a person that adapt well. And they say always have a step ahead, whatever happen after. And another advice I would give is don't see the selection as a big bite. Oh, I go through the selections and then I'm this. No. Day by day, if not lunch by meal by meal. Start to go from breakfast to lunch. Try to survive that. Made it? Good. Good for the moral, more motivation, discipline. Go again. You arrive at lunch, you're already ready for what's going to come next, even if you don't know. So it helps to handle what's coming, but it's very tough, especially in the beginning. You can have time here. It doesn't mean it's a good one. Sometimes they take watch. Rarely you have your phone. Rarely, very rarely. Usually just in downtime. So not knowing what's next, it's tough because you don't know how to get ready for that, but it tests you this way. So I would say it's one of the toughest thing,
Okay.
You learn it.
I did ask you earlier about how the process of selections and going through all that. How does that affect people with their everyday life and maybe dealing with stress or just how you get up in the morning, your attitude? Can you enlighten me on that?
I think it's tough to, at some point, you kind of post-traumatic, for real.
Okay.
I wouldn't say for life.
Yeah.
It depends. Depends on people. But you expect, a big noise or... Like they used to wake us up with some grenades sometimes outside. They throw grenades. Someone say grenade, bah! And then you wake up and you go and 2 minutes to join. They give you impossible time sometimes. They play in your mind. Oh, you didn't make it? You go back and you redo it. And they want to see if you break. So stress is part of it, but they want you to handle stress. To be comfortable in the discomfort. That's the goal. So if you can do that, it's pretty hard to kill.
You have any examples in real life that came up that people around you kind of folded and you're able to tend to it?
Yeah. My wife told me several times. For an example, one day I was stopped by the police because I sped. And it came to me and say, hey, you know why I stopped you and so on. And I say, yeah, sure. I mean, pay the price. And she said, like, most men would be pissed off and lose their mind. You stay like, sharp, polite. You took the responsibility and you did well. Last time it was like we were next to Apex on the road. There is no signal there, and we stopped to get some water to the water spring water, and my tire went flat. I figured out after filling up the water, and I was like, "What's going on?" And then no signal. Well, I know how to change the tire. Well, it wasn't change the tire; it was to reinflate the thing. So I'm prepared. Always have a step forward. You're gonna win. And instead of being pissed off because we had to be in 20 minutes in town, instead of being pissed off, I was like, okay, what's going on? That's the problem. That's how I can solve it. If I start to lose my cool, I don't serve even myself.
No.
I stress my wife.
No.
She sees I don't handle the situation, loss of confidence, even myself, it impact me. And in the end, the problem is still not solved.
And you have tunnel vision.
Tunnel vision, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're here, for an example, I was like, okay, problem, solution, apply. Do I need to cry? Do I need to yell? Do I need to be mad? I can be stressed a bit because I won't be in time. Maybe, sure, it is what it is. So I do think I go through some challenges easierly or with a calmer approach and not much stress because I handle the stress. As a business owner, I figured out it served me a lot. An entrepreneur, like you face a lot of challenges. And many friends told me, man, I would be you, I would quit because of the pressure, because of the issues, the liabilities. I understand for me, that's why I push myself a lot, but a lot of people don't understand why I'm able to push this way that much. It's because for me, it's the standard. My standard is here. So for most of them, people like standard is here, and I don't judge them for that. It's because we're two different worlds, and I was trained this way. Going back to that way won't serve me, so I stay here. So for someone that reached that level of stress and so on, for me, it's basic. So it serves me, but I get it. Like you don't need to do special forces. It sometimes depends on the individual if they can actually handle a situation or not. Sometimes, as I say, you made for this or not. You made to be an entrepreneur or not.
Yeah.
You should not lie to yourself. That's what I would say.
I find as like first responders, sometimes you deal pressure easier. When
you see crazy stuff every day.
And everything comes all at once, and you come and you're clear-headed about it, and you let it happen, and then you go on. But I don't know if I'm good with the lack of pressure sometimes,
sometimes it's good.
Sometimes you create pressure, right?
But it's also, well, we have a standard. So we have big expectation from ourselves. And jumping back on just what you said about as a first responder, for an example, a police officer is dealing with a lot of stress and hard stuff. You see dead people.
Yeah.
You may shoot them. You have to save people during crashes where they lose limbs, like not just police officers but firefighters, like even medics or even nurses. Like they welcome some patient. So this is a guy who lost 2 limbs. Deal with it. If you cannot handle the level of stress right away, it's going to be a tough job. Some people are affected by it because they don't deal with the job, like sometimes maybe too hard, and they're not honest with themselves.
Compartmentalization.
Yeah.
We're putting things in little compartments.
And again, I don't say it's easy when I say that. I know it looks easy when I say it, but I know what I'm talking about. But also, I mean, it's tough for some people to leave the job at the job and come back home with just your family, love, and so on. I know it's tough because it's very human. It's humans' jobs.
Yeah.
You help other human beings we truly care by default by doing these jobs. So it's these people, for an example, that deal with that every day. For them, the standard is higher than maybe the literal kind secretary that worked in the kind office, calm and so on. It's not the same environment, and you're not. Life doesn't shoot different challenges with very high intensity and stress and responsibility at you. There's people for everything, not judging, but yeah, it can affect people. It affects me in a good way, I do think, overall.
Yeah, good. So there's a lot of conversations we can have in the future here.
Yeah.
We definitely can touch on situational awareness in a lot more depth.
Okay.
That would be amazing. So it's been awesome. Thank you, man.
Thank you. Guys, thank you for watching the MLK Abilities podcast or listening to it. Just subscribe, leave a review, whatever is the platform. It helps a lot the channel to raise and reach more people. Again, we really appreciate your support. If you want to follow any course at Okanagan World Adventure or MLK Abilities to become the best version of yourself, to prepare for selections, maybe whatever it is, police officer, paramedic, correctional, corrections, firefighter, or even just to push yourself to try to get something away from it, to apply it in your everyday life. Well, come to us, contact us. It would be a pleasure to help you. And we hope you enjoy the content. And we see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
When you're talking about your spidey senses going, you know, you got situational awareness. Something doesn't feel right. Something's off. And you're going, okay. So my son and I, we decided we're going to go to a refugee camp.